Imagine opening your eyes one day and realizing that everything you've ever believed about identity is wrong. That the you've known your whole life, your memories, your personality, your story is only one mask worn by something far greater. Now imagine this. What if there is only one consciousness in the entire universe, and it is living every life, in every timeline, in every world, one by one? What if you are that consciousness, and so is everyone else? This idea is ancient. It appears in Hindu philosophy, in Sufi mysticism, in Buddhist teachings, in Western idealism, and now, remarkably, modern physics and neuroscience are starting to point towards something strikingly similar. The possibility that consciousness is not produced by the brain, not individual, not separate, but singular, universal, and shared. If that's true, then every person you've ever met, every friend, every stranger, every enemy, is just another version of you, living another life in another moment of the universe. So let's explore this idea, not as religion, not as fantasy, but as a possibility, a radical, cinematic, cosmic possibility that could change the way we see everything. Let's begin with a simple question. What is consciousness? Science can explain how neurons fire, how signals travel, how the brain processes information, but no one, not a single scientist, can explain how those processes create the feeling of being alive, your awareness, your inner world, your experience of I am. This mystery is known as the hard problem of consciousness, a puzzle so deep that many philosophers believe it cannot be answered by physical processes alone, because no matter how many neurons you examine, no matter how much of the brain you map, you will never find the self. You will find electricity, chemistry, structure, but the experience of being, that is something else entirely. So some thinkers proposed a bold idea. Consciousness does not arise from matter. Matter arises from consciousness. If that's true, then consciousness isn't inside your brain. Your brain is inside consciousness, a temporary interface, like a device running one of many apps. Your life is just one instance of a much larger awareness, and that leads to a remarkable possibility. If consciousness is universal, then the sense of being you is just one perspective among infinite perspectives, like a single wave on an endless ocean. Now, imagine this ocean. Each wave rises, has its moment, then falls back, blending into the water. Another wave rises in its place. Different shape, different size, different form, but the ocean is the same. The water is the same. The source is the same. Your consciousness may be like that wave, a temporary expression formed by genetics, culture, and experience. When your wave subsides, the ocean remains, and from the ocean rises another wave, another life, another perspective. Which means, in a literal sense, every conscious being is the same ocean, experiencing itself through countless waves. You are living this life now, but you may live another later, and another, until you have seen the world through every set of eyes that has ever existed. This idea is known, in some circles, as one mind theory, and in others, as the single consciousness hypothesis. But let's push deeper. Imagine, you are reading this script in one timeline, in one body, with one identity, at the same moment, somewhere else in another city, another country, another planet, another universe. Billions of other beings are experiencing their own lives. But what if those aren't strangers? What if they're all you, the same consciousness inhabiting different bodies across space and time? Physics supports something like this. Quantum entanglement shows that particles separated by galaxies act as one system. Wherever they are, however far apart, their states are linked. One change instantly affects the other. Consciousness might work the same way, a single, unified field, expressing itself through countless points. Now think about dreams. In dreams, you play multiple characters. You speak with people who feel othered, but they all came from one consciousness, yours. What if waking life is the same, just on a bigger, more stable scale? Perhaps the universe is a dream of a single mind, and we are all the characters inside it, a story the consciousness tells itself. But if we are one consciousness living every life, why don't we remember? Why do we feel separate? Maybe for the same reason you forget your dreams, or the same reason an actor becomes the character they play, or the same reason a wave forgets the ocean. If you remembered every life, every experience, every identity, you could no longer fully inhabit this one. You would be overwhelmed. Existence requires forgetting. Being human requires limitation, a kind of sacred amnesia, and yet, sometimes the illusion cracks. You feel empathy you can't explain. You look into a stranger's eyes and feel something familiar. You experience déjà vu in places you've never been. You dream of lives that don't belong to you. You feel grief for tragedies you never lived. You feel love for people you just met. Maybe those moments aren't accidents. Maybe they're echoes, the consciousness remembering itself across different lives. Now, imagine something even deeper. If you are living every life, then you are not just the hero. You are also the villain. You are the mother and the child, the lost and the found, the victim and the rescuer, the healer and the wounded, the teacher and the student, the creator and the destroyer. You experience all perspectives because one consciousness cannot understand itself from only one angle. This idea appears in ancient philosophies, like Ed Vitavid, there is only one self. Appearing as many, it appears in the Golden Rule. Treat others as yourself, because in a profound sense, they are yourself. It even appears in modern simulation theory, one player, many characters. If consciousness is universal, then morality is not about rules. It is about understanding that every action you take, you eventually experience from the other side. Hurt someone, you will live that life too. Help someone, you will receive that kindness as well. The consequences of the universe are not punishment, they are perspective. But what happens after death? If consciousness is one and immortal, then death is simply the moment when one life ends, and the awareness flows back into the ocean before rising again as someone new. Not reincarnation in the traditional sense, but perspective shifting. You become everyone. Eventually, you experience every possible viewpoint. And if this is true, then the purpose of life might not be survival, or success, or achievement, but experience. Every moment you live is a page in a cosmic library. Every joy, every pain, every thought adds to the understanding of the universal mind. You are the universe, learning what it's like to be you, just as it learns what it's like to be everyone else. So what if you really are just one consciousness living every life? It means separation is an illusion. Ego is a mask. Identity is a temporary role. Birth is entering a new perspective. Death is leaving the stage. And the universe is the actor behind all of it. It means kindness is not a virtue, it's clarity. Because whatever you do to others, you eventually do to yourself. It means that somewhere, sometime, you will experience the world through every human heart, every animal instinct, every alien intelligence, every cosmic mind. And it means that no one is truly alone, because everyone is you living another chapter of the same infinite story. And above all, it means this: your consciousness is not small, it is not limited, it is not fragile, it is the universe exploring itself through every form in every lifetime forever.